Hi, I'm Craig. I'm from Pure Distilling. I'm here to introduce you to our new entry-level kit. Okay, so we're going to now run through the complete process from making a wash all the way to distillation and then filtration. So to make the wash, all we do is fill 21 litres of water into the boiler, set our alarmed thermometer to 30 degrees, turn on the boiler, and we can heat all our water in the boiler. Once it heats to 30 degrees, we turn the boiler off. We can take out the alarm thermometer and put that aside. Then we're going to add 8 kilos of sugar. We give it a good stir until it's all dissolved. Now we'll need to add our premium yeast. Then we need to add our spirit enhancer. Makes for a much cleaner wash. Just give it a bit of a push around, break up any clumps in there. Push it down a little bit. We just stir up the premium yeast. Give it a good stir until it's all done. So now we'll put the smell eliminator together. Pick up the bung, put the thumb screw in from underneath. We put the black O-ring over the top. You get the nut with the deep groove, not the shallow groove, because the deep groove takes the O-ring. Put it on, tighten it up. Nice and firm. Put that down. Get the smell eliminator cartridge, stick it over the top, put it into the cartridge, screw it up, don't over tighten it, and that's it. You just stick it now on top of your boiler, and that's it. You've made your wash in here and takes all the smell out. Carbon takes everything away. So after about 10 days, the fermentation process should be done. So we take the lid off, take our smell eliminator away, and we put the hydrometer in, and we check to make sure that the reading is 980 or less, and you can clearly see that it's under 980 because there's no red showing. And that's it, it's ready to clear. So we need to degas the wash now, so we will stir the wash vigorously and get all the gas out. You'll know most of the big bubbles and everything, they'll stop eventually. So now that that's degassed, we'll want to clear it. So we'll get part A of the clear. We just pour the clear in. We just stir it well. Everything's written on the instructions on all the packs as you go through. That's it. Mixed in nicely, so we leave it for an hour. Okay, an hour's gone by and we need to put in part B. So we just cut the edge off, exactly the same process, and we just tip in part B. And now we want to stir gently. Don't want to disturb it too much. Just give it a nice, even, gentle stir, and that's it. And we leave that for 24 hours. And we now need to put together the filtration system because we'll empty the boiler into the filter. And then there's no heavy lifting of a 30-litre boiler. So we just unscrew it, it's nice and easy. That's the smell eliminator cartridge. So we will change that out and we'll get out one of the other cartridges, which is the filtration cartridge. And now we just need to put the filter together. So we get the thumb screw, and we put it through the hole. The same process can be repeated if you're using a stainless steel filter. You get the O-ring and put it on, and then the deep groove in the nut which holds the O-ring, we just screw that on. That's it. It's nice and tight. Now we want to put our plug in, which will stop any fluids going through the hole. Just clip it in. You can just do it up nice and easy. So now the wash has been cleared, it's sat for 24 hours, now we need to drain it. Just in case there is some carbon that is collected in the tap, we will always clear the tap first. So you just run that through, some black might come out. Once it runs clear like this, turn the tap off, and then we are ready to collect. We've split up into two, so there's no heavy lifting of a 30-litre container. You just pull it down, and now we fill it up until there's 15 litres in that one, And then we will repeat the process and put it in our second part of the filter. Exactly the same process can be repeated if you're using a stainless steel filter. Okay, now we've collected everything into the filters. We now need to give the boiler a quick clean, so I'll just take that and clean it and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, now that I've cleaned out the boiler, no heavy lifting, and we just put these back into the boiler. Nice and easy. We just put the both of them in and then we're done. So now that we've poured everything into our boiler, getting ready to distill, we just need to give both of the filters a washout, which I've already done. And now we need to prepare them so we can collect into the filter themselves. So the bottom, with our lid, just put that on and get that ready. The bottom one, we leave in the stopper. So everything will just stay in the top. Tip it upside down, put the O-ring on, put the filter on, nip it up nice and tight, and we put that through the hole and it just sits there. Then we have the collection top, and obviously the output tube will go through that, and we'll sit that aside for the moment, and now we'll get ready to distill. It's time to assemble the condenser. So all we do is put the output tube on it and we just screw it up till it's nipped tight, and all we need to do then is stick it on the lid, get the O-ring, stick it over, put the nut on and tighten it up. Nice and tight as you can go. That's it. And all we do now is we put the condenser and lid up on the boiler, and that is now ready to distill. We then turn the boiler on and we can start preheating. We can get our hoses ready. Beauty of our product is it doesn't matter which nozzle you put it on, and you can just connect a standard garden hose to the condenser, and that's it. We just run one lead out and one over onto the garden, and you can water your garden at the same time. As you can see, it's already starting to heat up. We'll get our probe, and we put the end of the probe in the condenser. We set the alarm thermometer for 50 degrees. Once it heats the column up to 50 degrees, then we go and turn the water on. So it's just about there. I'll go and turn the water on and I'll be back. Okay, so we've just turned the tap on for the water at 50 degrees. Now we'll get everything into place. We'll put the lid up here, make sure the tap is in the slow position, not the fast position. Slow. The tap ready. Our heads collection jar is 150 mils. We recommend the 150 mils simply because it gives a smoother and cleaner taste. Most other people recommend 50 to 80 mils. We disagree. So we'll put the containers in place. You can put the heads collection jar just under there and it will sit and rest by itself. And shortly we'll start collecting the heads. Okay, so we can see it started collecting now. This is the heads, and we will wait until the tube's almost full. Okay, so now it's up the top. We've collected our 150 mil. All we do is take out the heads collection jar, and we put the lid down now, and we now change it to the fast position. Once it stabilises at around 78 degrees, then we will set it for 2 degrees higher and set the alarm. So we've now hit our 2 degrees and we don't touch anything and we leave it, and we come up to the tap up here, and now we need to change the tap to the slow position. Okay, so now the alarm has hit 80 degrees for the second time. It's now time to stop collecting. We turn the alarm off, turn the boiler off. We should have collected around 4.7 litres in our filter, and we now turn the water off as well. Let everything settle down. Okay, so now you can see we've collected 4.7 litres of 93% alcohol. It's time to dilute it with water down to 40%. So now you can see we've diluted it down to 40% on the eliminator. Just leave it sitting there. So it's now time to filter. What we do is give that a shake out. Now we undo the plug, take it out, and that's it. We can put our lid on, and a couple of hours later that should be all filtered down into the bottom, and it's done. Okay, after a couple of hours we come back and have a look, and there's nothing in here. So we now just take it out, tip that up over there, take the lid off, and now we have our collected and filtered spirits in the bottom container. Now we can flavour it, put the tap over the end of the bench if you like, put bottles under there or whatever collection vessels you've got, and you can flavour it and fill as you choose. Don't forget, our still is 5-year guarantee, Australian made. It is the easiest still on the market to use. We have our new product that we've released, our smell eliminator. Takes all the smells out of the fermentation process, and we've now released our new flavour range. Don't forget to check them out as well. Thank you. I hope you enjoy our products.